Backup request. Supply convoy.
As usual, just pause the video as I go, show my build real quick to see everything. I'm going to show it before I finish this control point. Still the same as previous videos. I'm just showing it again in case for others who haven't seen yet. But yeah, I still love just a pure Foundry tank build. Just seems like the perfect balance tank. And this control point especially, because this is a harder control point because stupid multiple patrols joined in. And then, I don't think you see it here, but when I finished the control point, then a stupid resource convey, an elite resource convey, showed up and activated that. You never know with control points if it's going to go smoothly or if you're going to have to deal with multiple different missions or patrols that all spawn around you at the same time and just make it go on forever. That also leads to a lot of non-elite enemies joining in, because that's what I've noticed. It's like lots of red and purple enemies suddenly, which is unusual for heroic control points, and is obviously the biggest weakness to a tank build, since you don't protection from elites don't help you with that. But that is why I use the Sweet Dream shotgun and I use Foundry, because both of them help militate against that weakness. I don't have as much protection from elite bonuses as true, but I mean, you see, I don't really feel like I need it. Even on legendary difficulty, I still take so little damage from elites that I just don't even really feel like I need extra bonuses. And in some of these situations, I feel like if I was on like a pure yellow core tank build with max protection from elites, but no Foundry at all, or even if I didn't have Foundry like backpack or armor combo, I feel like it would have went down in some of these situations, because you would have taken the exact same amount of damage from reds and purples without the much higher armor regen spamming that you get off Foundry. And a weaker shield, unless you go, I guess, Technician Tree, but I feel like that would defeat the purpose of trying to do a mixed tank build where your armor matters as much as your shield. Which is also why I like Foundry with Survivalist, because your shield is not as tanky as it could possibly be, but it's still very tanky. When you have the Foundry backpack and armor, and I still use skill repair on my pistol, reformation on my pistol. I mean, that alone with Bulwark really helps keep your shield up even in legendary difficulty, I've noticed. Not to mention the protection from elite bonus and Survivalist applies to your shield too, the extra you get from Survivalist. So I still feel like Survivalist pure Foundry is like the best balanced tank I've ever found, I think. For just myself, not helping teammates, of course, pure with bonus stacking. But still, like, if you just want to be like the best balanced tank of all, I still would say Foundry is the way to go. But specifically Foundry with the backpack and the armor, because everything else is less reliable. Like Adrenaline Rush only helps you in close range, which yeah, I am in close range a lot of the times, but also not, and then you just lose that bonus, and you can take a ton of damage from range as well, especially when you get hit with explosives staggering you, where Adrenaline Rush does, nothing to help you. And then there's, Vanguard, but Vanguard, I learned when I tried it, I actually hated it because it negates Foundry's healing. So if you deploy your shield with the Vanguard buff, yeah, you have a few seconds of invulnerability, but the buff on you is very meager. Like, okay, you got 5 seconds of shield invulnerability, but then you have a 25-second cooldown on it. And then, so it's not honestly helping you that much, but also it's even hurting you on Foundry build, because and I don't think they should be this way. If it wasn't, I may consider getting rid of at least my backpack or my armor, one of them, to use Vanguard. If it didn't do this, so it'd still be useful and then give me a huge team buff for people. But it negates the Foundry healing on both your shield and your armor. So during those few seconds, because you're not taking damage. So the whole Foundry thing is you have to keep taking constant damage to keep getting constant healing stacking on both shield and armor, which is also why the best way to use it, and this is perfect on a Survivalist mixed like shield and armor build, is to just deploy it sometimes and then just stand out in the open without it sometimes, letting your armor take damage to heal your holstered shield, and then deploying your shield when you take too much armor damage before you go down. So then immediately just get your armor back up to full, since them hitting your shield still counts for your armor regen too. So I've learned to use that with Foundry. It's just, and again with Sweet Dream Shotgun, it's just perfect. It's like I go in, if I see a red or purple, I run up to him, and if I need to, I can use my shield to get closer to him, and then I just immediately take off my shield, dodge a couple times if I need to avoid more damage, and then just, if I'm taking a ton of damage, that is, if like all the enemies are attacking me, I can still survive even with an army attacking me in that moment by just, momentarily dodging and switching to my shotgun right as I, get rid of my shield, to then just instant one tap that red or purple that does more damage to me, and just go around the field doing that. Which is why I love Sweet Dreams again, because it's like the perfect counter to my counter. It's like tank counter is reds and purples in this game. Well, Sweet Dreams offers you a way to counter that too. When you're not doing much damage on this build, at least you can one tap some enemies, and the enemies you can one tap are also the biggest threat to you. So that's why it's such a perfect weapon, in my view, perfect exotic weapon to use on a pure tank build like this. But yeah, as I was saying, like Foundry, like the best way to use it is to go in and out of your shield. And in doing that, it's like you just stack up so much regen on both your armor and your shield, and it helps you counter also the reds and purples, since you're essentially able to absorb more damage that way too, whereas just a pure protection from elite guy would not get as much stacking. And there's situations where the only damage you might take in that situation is a red and purple, and in those situations this guy would be a better tank than the other guy, the other purest protection from elite guys. But yeah, and then with Catharsis, adding even more to the regen combo. As I was saying, just last point, I know we're in black mode, but last point I'm almost done is, again, like Adrenaline Rush, not worth it. Vanguard, as I just explained, not worth it. Intimidate, or what is it called? No, not Intimidate, Unbreakable, definitely not worth it, because in my view, if your armor breaks at any time, you're not doing your job anyway as a tank, and you're most likely going to die anyway too, if you're taking so much damage that your armor's breaking. And it has a super long duration. So it makes no sense to me to give yourself, essentially you're just giving yourself an extra potential life with a long duration to it. It's like a reviver hive you're giving yourself, kind of, by using Unbreakable or the Exotic 2 with it. But the problem is, it's like, it's not going to help you most of the time, whereas having way more armor regen with the backpack or the armor Foundry buff is always helping you. So, I just feel like it's infinitely superior to using Unbreakable. Because I just see a lot of mixed Foundry builds out there who don't use the backpack or armor, that use like just the gloves just to get the 4 bonus thing, and then they'll use one of those things I just mentioned. They'll maybe use like the Memento and try to make a semi-hybrid Foundry build. And I tried that, and I hated it. Like, I learned, it's like, dude, this isn't helping me much. And honestly, the Foundry, the purest Foundry buffs from wearing the backpack and armor, yeah, it's a lot of extra regen. That alone will just stack up so much regen to the point where on here, legendary, but also heroic sometimes, if I am taking a crap load of damage, well, it kind of helps me in a way, ironically, because it's like, if I'm taking a ton of damage, then the amount of regen I'm getting from Foundry becomes insane. Where it's more than Catharsis even. It becomes like, oh, even when I'm moving around, I'm literally repairing my entire armor bar within like a split second. Which, yeah, I'm taking too much damage to not die, but that's why you deploy your shield and go in and out, like I just said. I deploy my shield, I get my armor back from red to full in like 1 second, literally. And I just, okay, Sweet Dreams is ready, right? So then I get rid of my shield, and then I just dodge straight into a red and purple, and one tap him. Maybe I'm back in red armor again, because again, I'm taking so much damage. So then I just redeploy my shield, my armor goes back up to full within literally 1 or 2 seconds, and then I try and take another enemy out, or wait for Sweet Dreams to be ready again and do the same rinse and repeat against another red or purple that's doing the most damage to me, until I'm taking less damage that way. So that's like the perfect way to play this guy, I've noticed, and yeah, he feels pretty much invincible in most situations. Like, it's really only legendary difficulty that you can die on him, but even then, if you've seen my videos where I also can solo legendary too, and it takes a lot of patience though, it's true, and I can still die sometimes really quick if I get hit by explosives at the wrong time, which is why, again, I'm considering getting rid of Catharsis for Sawyer's knee pads at some point. I'm going to try it out just to see if I feel better with that. I still feel like I'd give up too much armor regen to justify using Sawyer's knee pads, but I'm going to try it just for the explosive stagger immunity. Because explosive damage is not what kills me, which is why I don't use explosive resist. It's the stupid staggering that kills me. Because on legendary especially, because then I'll be forced out of my shield or whatever, and then just take a boatload of gunfire damage in the middle of being stagger locked by explosives, and that's what kills me. Anyway, let me shut up now. I've been going on too long as usual.